Hello, this is Cuckoo, and right here at Elektron's booth, a Superbooth 2017, and right here is Cenk. Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm really excited to come here and check out the Digitakt.
Yeah, it's been a long wait, and finally it's here. And yeah, I mean we had a play before, and it's a good machine. Let's check it out and see what it does.
Yeah, a lot of people are excited. I'm excited, and it's been a mystery until today, basically, or yesterday.
Yeah, it has been actually. Yeah, it's been a mysteryful journey, but so now we can spill the beans and you can see it more. Yeah.
Cool. Let's show us what you could do with it. And to me, to be honest, for me it's an instrument, right? It's a musical instrument.
Yes.
So this video is going to be focused on how to perform and why it's cool as a musical instrument to perform on.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go through a lot of specifications, and that's cool, but people could read about that. So what I want to know is, how do you play it, and why is it so lovely? Because I can hear already that it's lovely.
That's a good question. It's very good attitude to just to actually play with it rather than focusing on the specs. That's a good one. So let's have a look at it then. Yeah. So you have 8 audio tracks, and these are the samples that we just loaded up here now. So we have these very fine encoders, very detailed. But if you like, for example, push the encoder in, and then so you can go in semitones rather than the detailed tuning as you see on the screen. And this applies to many of the parameters. So it's you have very fine control over your sample playback and your stuff. And
so this fat sound wave that we see here now is, what is it?
Let me see, where was this from? I think this was from just YouTube, when the recorder first came alive. So I thought, wow, okay, I can plug my phone in and just capture the internet. And that's what I was doing, so that's one of them. But this sound here is from, if we look at it, I think this is from like a synthesizer that I've sampled. I can't really remember now. But what's cool is that we were talking about being an instrument, is that you can play these samples chromatically. And it almost sounds like a digital synthesizer with the filter and bit reduction maybe. Let's turn the filter on here. Yeah. And you can have the reverb and delay on it as well. And what's cool is that you have digital effects of reverb and delay, and they're sent, so you only have one of them each, but you send them. You send from the tracks into it. So here are the settings for the delay, for example. So we'll raise the feedback a bit. And the time parameter is like very detailed now, unlike our previous delay engines. You can have the feedback self-oscillating, so you can create these awesome delays. And what's cool is you can actually resample this if you wanted to do so.
How do you do that?
So let's try just resampling this actually. So I would go to the recorder page, set my to input, internal, and I can see already popping up here. So I just press yes. Now it's sampling. So I could go back into the delay page.
So where does this end up?
So it's still recording, so we could stop it now. So right now, let's turn the delay engine off first, so that there's a normal feedback here. So let's go back in recorder. This sample is in the buffer right now, so it's kind of in like oblivion. But what you can do now here, this is really nice, is that you can preview it and change the start point, for example, here. And with the nice OLED screen, you can zoom in and out of exactly where you want it to start from, or maybe here or there. It's very handy to edit your recording. It's like this. But anyway, let's just save it as it is. So we click save. We need to name it. So we name it, I don't know.
So this is going to be saved on the plus drive, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I save it into the plus drive now. And this is where it's really cool. It asks me where shall I assign the saved sample. So I can pick any of the 8 tracks and assign it to it.
You just press it.
Yes,
Yeah.
so let's assign it to 6. And now that it says done, it should be, let's see. So if we go on track 6, there you go, it's there. Pretty simple, really.
Yeah.
And then we should, of course, clear the other pages so that it plays as it is. Yeah. And again, you can play this chromatically. Yeah, it's pretty cool, really, to be able to capture that. But what we could do is actually maybe capture some kind of beats material from the phone. We have this application here. Let's see. So if we play this, so now it's playing. So I go into the recorder page and get rid of this recording and set it to, there you go. So I've got this very simple app, Tweaky Beats. I actually like it, it's kind of free. I would suggest people check it out. What I could do is I could stop it and set the threshold. This is threshold recording. So the recording starts when when the threshold is met.
Yeah.
So now it's not met. I press yes, I arm it, and then I press play. Yeah, that should be enough. So we can stop that now here. And here we are. So we can actually, this is really cool. So I would go and select, okay, I just want to have this kick here, for example. Just that, okay? So I would press yes, and then I would press save, and quickly call it kick, okay? And now it asks me to assign, so I'm gonna assign it to number 1, okay? Now I'm gonna go back into the recorder and then say I want to pick another sound from this app that we just captured from.
So the recorder is kind of a little device in itself. It's not on a track.
No, it's separate from the tracks, unlike Octatrack.
Yeah.
So let's capture this sound here. There you go. You see, I can see exactly where I want to. There you go. So we've trimmed that. We click save. I wish there was a random name generator. That's my feature requests from here to Elektron. Maybe they will listen to that.
So Elektron, if you're listening to this, wait a second, we're in Elektron's room.
Yeah, but the feature request is made right now. So please, a random name generator. So what I did there, I captured the loop. So that's the first sound that I took from the app.
Yeah.
And this is the second one.
Yeah.
We should change. Yeah. So let's go back in the recorder and pick a snare sound from this.
Yeah.
Oh, there's not much snare, but oh, this sound is nice, I think, here. So we get that too, like this. And then here we go. Straight there. You see, this is really precise, I think.
Yeah.
We'll trim it, save it. Yes, please give me a random name, and then we save it, and then assign it to number 3. So, yeah.
And now the pitch was very low.
Yeah.
The pitch setting on that track was.
Because the track settings were different, but you can easily reset your track settings with the track plus copy, clear, paste, or you could press the menu buttons. For example, the filter is set like this, but I want to clear it. So you hold the filter button and press clear. This is actually a performance tool. You can go undo and clear.
Yeah.
And this applies to all our other machines, if you haven't noticed yet. You can also do this with copy and paste tracks.
Yeah.
That's a different story now.
Yeah.
So, because you can see, it's very easy to capture loops and assign it to your pattern. And maybe it's worth mentioning now is that all the track settings, the samples you've captured, everything that you have on the tracks is actually assigned to the pattern. And when I say everything, I also mean the BPM, which it can be assigned per pattern, or it can be done globally by switching in this mode here. I like it per pattern because every pattern has got a different BPM amount. Yeah. It's very important for me. So now, what I've been doing so far is just in the pattern, so it's not related to another kit. We wanted to make the workflow much easier and streamlined and faster, so you don't need to think that, oh, did I just break and something else? So this is an easier approach to that.
Yeah. But still, when you assign something to a track, it's actually also uploading the sample into the sound pool, the sample pool, right?
Yes, it's kind of like when it asks you to assign the recorded sample, it does it behind the scenes. It automatically puts it into a sample slot and assigns it to that track. It's just a behind the scenes thing. So to make the workflow faster. And also, as we did, you capture different drum hits and then quickly assign them here. So let's have a look at the sequencer. So this is the sequencer. You got 2 lines of 8. And we could start putting some steps here. Yeah, let's start from begin. And all these pages that you see per track can be locked. For example, we could change the pitch on this one. Maybe have a higher pitch here. And maybe even change the sample here. And maybe another one here. Maybe just reverb on this. Yeah. And each of the tracks offers you the sample playback page, where you have tune, bitrate reduction, start and loop points. Then you have a multimode digital filter with an envelope. Then you have a digital overdrive, sound effects for reverb and delay, and you have an LFO. So you have these each track, and it's totally digital. So it gives you a lot of room to mess around with your sounds and change stuff. So here we go. And let's add some overdrive to this. And maybe we could go to the other track and add this. And let's pick this sound and try to make up like a melody of it. Let's see here. So I could go into real-time recording mode. You can actually turn quantize on off here. I'll leave it off. And let's see. You see it's kind of out of quantize, but I can go into the quantize menu and assign quantize, apply quantize to it. Let's remove the delay. And let's add some hi-hats on this track. We don't have one, but I can instantly clear the track and start selecting a new sample to it like this. And here we go with the hi-hats. Yeah. And
by the way, you see how it's constantly changing tracks. It's not selecting tracks, it's just pressing a sound and it's on that track.
Yes, that is one of the cool things about this is instantly you can switch between tracks. So you don't need to hold the track button. You can do it if you don't want the track to be triggered. But if you're just playing, so you're like, okay, I want to change this sound. I want to change this one. It's very straightforward to be able to do that, I think. It's great. And there's a few other tricks in the sequencer that I'd like to show. We were at the hi-hat track. Let's delete this. And this is this beat we have. It sounds out of tune now because we were messing with the tune here. It wasn't very good tuning anyway in the first bit.
It was great.
How was it? Let's see. Let's put this 0. Yeah, no, not bad. And then go to the hi-hat track here. So you have the trick conditions. So you could like put some steps like this, alright? Pretty standard, you get the idea. But I can put some like steps here with like 33% chance or maybe 2 and stuff like that. So you get some irregular patterns very easily, like a more human touch to it. And let's go to this track and let's use this as like a snare, so like this. Yeah. What's cool is now you can actually do micro timing, so you can shift the notes. And you could also do retriggering. So there's a lot of tricks you can do with the sequencer. But one thing that I really want to show that I'm really happy with that this machine has is you have the control all. Machine drum users may know this. So basically you have 8 tracks, but you can control them all at the same time. So you can do a filter sweep or drop tune everything. But let's see it. So
you can see the grin growing on Cenk's face. It's growing on my face too because I tried it yesterday, and this is where the performance aspect of this machine, goes through the roof. It's so much fun to perform with this feature.
yes. I think so too. So let's have a look at it. But let's change this pattern because
do something that you feel familiar with.
let's find something. Let's see, maybe this one. Yeah, I like this one. So we have the kick track here. So this clap track, some other kick. There's nothing happening here. Yeah. So, and that's the bass line. But what's cool now, I can hold the track button and, for example, filter everything out. So you can hear that everything is getting affected.
So when the track button is pressed, it's control all.
Exactly, that's how it is. Yeah. So now I can apply a bit of. You get the idea. Was maybe apply overdrive to all the tracks, and you could change the tuning. So you could like hold the track button and change the notes. Let's see, -5 or maybe -12. Let's messing around with the sample parameters. So maybe I could shorten the length of the whole sample playback. I love these glitchy stuff. This is really cool. Now you can actually turn the loop on maybe. Then maybe add bit reduction to it. Let's reverse everything. And add reverb and delay all together. Yeah, so you can do crazy stuff like that. It's pretty cool, really. And notice that when we changed another pattern, everything just loaded instantly. The BPM, the samples, the settings, it's so easy. And the pattern that we were making before, we can go back to it. And here it is. So I don't need to worry about anything. It's just everything is stored in the pattern. And that's, I think, is really, really cool, I think. Yeah.
How many banks and patterns and stuff? What's the architecture like?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, it's going to be 16 banks. Each bank has got 16 patterns. So that's equals to 256 patterns. Then you have 64 megabytes of RAM to work with. That's your per project. And then you have 1 gigabyte of storage for your samples to store. Yeah. And you can upload your samples via the USB into the internal memory and then assign to your project. And you can use the USB for overbridge, which in the future will show more, where you can multi-track your 8 tracks into the computer. And we also have the MIDI sequencer, but we can't show it yet. But yeah, so it has 8 audio tracks and then 8 MIDI sequencers on top as well.
So basically, the way we were selecting tracks before, we could just select the MIDI track the same way. Yeah. So any MIDI track from 9 to 16, you just pressed and it sends a note.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it will happen.
Yeah.
You can see it says MIDI A to H.
Yeah.
And then you have kick to symbol of the. So these are audio, these are MIDI. That's how it's gonna work. And the MIDI tracks are gonna be polyphonic, like 4 notes, similar to the octa track. Per trig, of course. Yes.
Or you can have the same retrig stuff.
Retrigging, I don't know about that. Yeah. Maybe so, but what I know
it's in development. The MIDI thing is not finalized. So.
But what's cool is that the trig conditions will be available for MIDI stuff. So what I was doing with the hi-hat just now, not every hit is getting hit, is that you can do it for external gear now, which is. I think it's pretty cool for a machine at this price range, doing that type of MIDI sequence and then sampling what you've done on the machines. It's really cool. But when I mentioned that that you know in the future when the MIDI machines are working and you're gonna capture audio out from those machines in here, you'll want to capture a loop because you use the sequencer, right? For example. What I'd like to show is, let's go to this track, clear it so it's clear. I want to pick up, let's see, there was a bass line that I did with this Avalon bass. Here we go, this sample here. But what's cool is that it's like a loop, and then you could of course assign it to the sequence. But it's really nice when you apply these effects. And maybe tune it down. And maybe reverse it. That's a nice sound.
Yeah.
Let's try to mess around with it. Let's clear the pattern quickly. Put a step here. So I would need maybe a bit faster. Let's do that. Yeah. And now this BPM is only for this pattern, so I don't need to worry about the other patterns having different speed anymore. It's really, really nice there. What I really like doing is, for example, you can change the start point of the sample playback, because it's a long sample that I've captured. So you could put the start point here and set the playback forward. There you go, and change the tuning. Yes.
So now the release time of this sound is the thing that's making it diminish, right?
Yes, that's right. You can have the the decay is set to like middle, so you can have it shorter. There you go, the whole time. Yeah. And yeah, let's go to this track. Load in the kick sound. I accidentally cleared the pattern. Oh. But yeah, it's I'm still learning the machine, but you get the idea. Then I would have layered other stuff onto it. Yeah. Another thing that I want to show is, let's go to this track here, clear it, and I want to assign, let's see here, maybe this. Let's try it with this one. So this is like we recorded from a Roland string machine, very old one. It was sounding very good. But you can some kind of mimic, like a bit of a time stretching or a granular thing, because you have the loop mode for the playback. So you can set the length short and it will loop for you. Like this. Yeah? So now when you change the start points, you're actually getting into some interesting territories like that.
Could this be hooked up to an LFO or something like that?
Yeah, let's try that. So we go to the LFO page and select the start point, and then raise the depth a bit. I want to set the speed very slow, and here we go. So maybe raise the speed a bit. You see what's happening to the sound? It's kind of moving very slowly. Maybe speed it up a bit, so you can see how it's being played back here. It's a really interesting way to mess around with it, basically. And yeah, that gives you a lot of room to explore. And what you can do is you can actually resample this internally. That's a very, very nice touch. Whatever you do, that can be captured. And maybe it's worth mentioning that you can record audio via the USB audio input from your computer out.
Through an overbridge? Or through some...
Well,
is it...
I mean, this is like a sound card. You know, it's going to work like that, like our other overbridge-enabled products do. So it does have an audio interface, so you can get audio from a computer, and that's the intention. Of course, you can just plug headphone output into your computer, but once you've got it set up in your studio just with the USB connection, and you're not using the physical outputs or the inputs, which you may not need to if you're working in a studio environment with a DAW, then we thought, well, yeah, just you should be able to just grab audio from the USB rather than messing with the jacks.
Yeah. So, yeah.
One thing that it was very interesting, Kuku, that you were doing yesterday was the, let's pick this sample, for example, but let's pick something else. Yeah, this one. You set this like a short loop, and yeah, let's do that. So like this. Yeah, like this. And then you were playing this chromatically. It's such a weird way, but it totally makes sense. Yeah.
I like how it sounds really good.
Yes, and maybe we could add a bit of vibrato. I mean, it's.
So now, actually, so what's happening now is like the very, very short loop point is defining the pitch, and that scales chromatically. So it's very nice.
Very interesting. Now you can go back and mess around with the. Another trick that I really like doing, there's so many, sorry guys, but it's that you can lock different sample per step. And let's do this quickly. Let's set the BPM quite high, like something like this. And let's go like this. And then maybe we could put like, and then copy that, and then here, and add something else here.
How many slots are there? 128?
Well, I could say 128, but we've got something. We're thinking about something for there that I can't really say now. But
okay.
There could be a change there, which I'm hoping that there will be. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like you can have only one track can play a lot of different samples per step, basically.
And all the parameters per step can be changed.
Yes, exactly. Let's try real-time recording the sample changes. Make this into a crazy mess. And this is only one track. I could go to the next track and assign maybe a kick sound, a very, very fat kick here. Let's tune that in. Something like this. And maybe change something here. Yeah. Each of the tracks can be played polyrhythmically. So the first track I can set it to maybe 3 steps, or maybe 6 steps, or 11. It's up to you. Each of the tracks can have different lengths. Let's try that. Yeah, so now it's like a weird beat basically. And slow it down. And of course use the control all again. And let's try capturing this. Go to internal. Yep. It's pretty crazy ways to. And here you go, I managed to capture the end of that without even pressing stop or anything else. And that was the end of it. Yeah.
Pretty cool, wouldn't you agree? I think it's pretty cool. I think it's great. And then when I tried it yesterday, of course, it's the first time I even lay my fingers on it. The first thing that strikes you, and I want to take a real close-up of this, is the new buttons. They're smooth and they have a reduced sound. I mean, a lot of people seeing the other Elektron's machines, they complain about the noise from the button. I mean, on stage you can't hear it anyway because you're playing loud, but in your bedroom maybe you don't want to wake up your partner or something when you're playing late at night. With this
Maybe you should be doing something else. But yeah, these are better buttons. And
could you hold this for a second?
yeah,
I'm
sure.
just gonna show a real close up of your fingers.
Yeah, and they're actually backlit. This is actually very nice. Now you can see that we don't have an LED on top of each button. It's the button itself is lighting up, and it's got this very nice Batman type of rubber feeling to it. Feels a bit wrong saying that. Then you have a really nice encoders, as you saw. It's very detailed. These are like different type of encoders to our previous machines.
Yeah, you could clearly feel it's like a new generation.
Yes.
Very, very precise. Now look at the
Yes.
focus there. You can see the increments.
Yeah.
If you do it really slow, it's that precise.
Yes.
Very, very precise.
And you could press it in and turn it around, so you don't do the increments, you just do the whole values.
Yeah.
And this applies to, for example, the length. So you can like pick up tiny bits of the length, how long you want the sample to be played or looped for, and applies to start points. You see how detailed, and this tuning also. It's it's really nice. And the LFO depth as well. So the parameters which need that extra resolution is available there. Yes. Yeah.
Very good.
Yes.
So, when do you plan on shipping these?
Oh, it says May.
Yeah.
That's all I say, May.
Yeah.
1st of May, probably. Well.
And then when they don't ship in May, he said like, what I really meant is they may ship.
Yeah, exactly. It's May, maybe.
No, but you're working around the clock, obviously, to get this done.
Hard. I mean, to be able to get, it's been, well, I can't say much, but it's been a very hard and a nice journey for this machine. Now we're nearly at the end of it. I know a lot of people are impatient and waiting, and we did announce it a while ago too. But now, as you can see, it's playable. It's much more playable than what we showed at now, because it wasn't playable at the time. But now it's really getting close. There are some things that we want to add the MIDI tracks, of course, and hopefully update some of the graphics, because as you may have noticed, like the overdrive parameter, for example, it's got these very nice spikes. Yeah, thanks to our lovely colleague back at the HQ, Simon. He makes these awesome graphics, and there's other things that I've seen which is really nice touches. Hopefully we can make it, and of course we want to make the whole operation a bit smoother. Really like aiming for like very quick results that you would get out of this machine. You don't need to go into your kit settings and all that. No, it's just hit the track, change the sample, and off you go type of thing. That's what we're aiming to do. Yes. Yeah. So May, and it's 750 euros. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be really nice. I'm thinking this setup, like, imagine you have the octa track in the middle and then 2 Digitakts on the side and then heat at the end of the signal chain. That's kind of my wet dream right now. It's pretty crazy, that, yes.
And when I'm performing live nowadays, I'm kind of trying to do it as try to have as little gear as possible with me at all times. And the octatrack has been enough for me for a very long time now.
And your gig at Stockholm was really
nice.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, especially the vocals that you were twisting around with. That was really nice.
It's a lot of fun. But this one, it's even smaller than the octatrack.
It does pack a punch, doesn't it? The size is kind of irrelevant.
And that overdrive sounded really good. And the reverb, I guess, is a tweaked version of the previous reverbs. Sounds very nice.
It's from the same era, but the overdrive and the filters, they're digital, of course. They're designed specifically for this. Yes. So right now we got the low pass and high pass filter in here, and we're looking at other modes. I can't say much now, but there's some interesting things that I hear that we'll see in the future. Yes. And also one thing. Maybe some people haven't seen this, but there's a master button here. So I think that would be something great that people can comment saying what this could be, because it's not available yet. I can't access the master section.
So as you can see, there is a function button, and when you press the function button, which is, by the way, brand new today,
Yeah, it's a
just
brand new function button.
it just came in.
Yes, yes.
When you press the function button, you access the orange labeled stuff.
Yeah.
So the master is not implemented yet,
Yes.
but it will be there, and it
what
will.
it could be, let's see what the people could guess about.
Yeah.
Let's see, yes.
So that pretty much sums it up. The Digitakt is coming, and May is the projected launch date or month. And I haven't pre-ordered one, so I'm out of luck because it's sold out, I guess, the first batch.
Yeah, it is. It was sold out 2 weeks ago or a week ago.
Yeah.
It was pretty quick actually, and the number was quite high. I can't say that, but yeah.
And you're assembling it in Sweden, right?
Yeah, these
Very
are
close to the headquarters.
It's assembled in Sweden.
Yeah.
Parts from all around, but it's assembled, checked, built. You've seen it. It's right next to our office, and we also offer 3-year manufacturing guarantee. It's like that's something to mention. I mean, you buy it and you're covered for 3 years. It's
It's built to last, and it's built to take a beating. Not a beating, but
well, you can try it if you do so. Yeah.
like Cenk is traveling around with a suitcase, and he throws everything into that suitcase. So it has to be built to tackle that,
Well, I mean,
touring musicians.
We have these nice cases too. You've seen that one. I don't know where it is now. But it's
Yeah,
like
I've seen them on the other ones, on the big ones, but the lids have been shrunk down. Oh, okay.
boom.
Does it snap on?
Yes, it will. These models are not, but the final models are very snappy, and they don't come loose. This one is loose because they gave this to
prototype,
me.
yeah.
Yeah. This is the one I have.
So maybe there should be like a rubber band for safety.
Yeah. Or I've been using this belt, like put machines on top of each other and belt them. It's very nice like that. Yes.
Cool. So yeah, Elektron,
Yes.
Digitakt. Yeah, it's
Thank
been
you very
nice.
much.
It's been very nice.
Superbooth
Yeah,
217.
yeah, very good.
Yes.
See you around.